Welcome to The Money Hour with host Tina Mitchell and co-host Keelan Harvey. Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, and Keelan Harvey, MLO 1330075, are licensed loan originators with Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, and MLS 7233. The views expressed by the speakers on the following program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC. Now, in the studio, local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome to the Money Hour, 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, June 22nd show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
We are your local mortgage experts, bringing in expert advice and inside knowledge on events in our local economy and how it will affect your money. If you're hearing our show at a different time of the day, you are listening to a rebroadcast. We're here to answer any questions or connect you with the guests that we have on the show. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150, or online at themoneyhour.com. And our lineup for today's show, we have Suzan, Shayler of Edward Jones, who's helping you captain your financial ship and protect your money from long-term care costs and taxes. Also in studio, we have Vivian Peterson of Windermere Real Estate Shoreline, transitioning seniors. Our last guest in studio is Rose Fabric of Concierge Care Advisors. Senior living transitioning. If you noticed a little bit of a theme there, yes, this show is in spirit for all of our seniors, and not just the seniors, but the children that are helping to transition and take care of their parents and grandparents. So really excited about this show. Great information and great guest in studio. As always, if you have any questions or you'd like to chat with our guest, please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150, or online at themoneyhour.com. And we'll start out today, as we do each week, with a little money chat.
Money.
So, Keelan, you missed me for Money Chat last week, didn't you?
I did. We really missed you.
I love how you had the picture of me up for anybody that looks online or sees our behind-the-scenes video that our awesome executive assistant Victoria does. But yeah, I missed everybody, and I really appreciate you stepping in and being the host/co-host. So, and great Money Chat last week. What do you have for us this week?
Well, I figured, considering we're mortgage experts, and it was a big day yesterday.
Are we really?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. I feel like we should probably touch base on the Federal Reserve announcing yesterday that they're holding its benchmark short-term interest rate steady and unchanged. That's big news because kind of when this year started, there's going to be 6 increases, and then it went to 3, and now rates are super low, which is awesome, and they're even talking about making them even lower. So the current federal funds rate is set in a range between 2.25 and 2.5. When the Fed adjusts that rate, it changes the private borrower's cost for everything from mortgages, credit cards, home equity lines of credit. Lowering the rate can help stimulate the economy as well, increase inflation, which remains shy of the Fed's target of 2% a year. So they're increasing, the stimulus, lowering rates creates activity. So it's getting really interesting. Awesome time to buy. And they use this word. They have been using this word. We are going to remain patient, to quote. You can't see my quotes. I'm doing quotes. Quotation. Remain patient. And they've kind of filled it in with, now they say, we'll act as appropriate to sustain expansion. So they're kind of a little bit more reserved in their dialogue. And it's funny because you get all kind of people read into what they say. And it's going to be pretty interesting. And in fact, when the committee met, the central bank, some of them didn't agree, which hasn't happened forever, that they're saying we should lower rates now. So they're remaining flat, but if we kind of read between the lines, it sounds like maybe rates are going to go good even more.
I know. It's so funny because I always say, people say, what are rates going to do? And I said, all experts, including myself, the best economists, they're right 50% of the time. And it's just so crazy because no economist was saying when they were predicting what was going to happen for this upcoming year that we'd see any decrease in interest rate or the previous year. So it tells you nobody knows what's going to happen. But you'd mentioned about the feds and the dialogue and the words that they're using. They choose their words very, very careful because the whole purpose purpose of giving a behind the scenes of what happened in the federal meeting is to see how the economy is going to react, see how consumers are going to react to the information that they're putting out there. So they'll put something out there because their job is to keep everything balanced and manage the inflation. So when they say something, we may do this or do that, they want to see how the markets are going to react to it. And if the markets react in a favorable way, then they'll act or not. So it's really interesting. It's all a test to see what the markets are going to do and how consumers are going to react to the behind the scenes news. I wish we were that important with our behind the scenes.
Oh, we are, Tina.
We are. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Now, also, just as a reminder, we've talked about this before, when the feds adjust the prime rate, that is not directed to mortgage rates. Keelan mentioned what it does affect. It affects short-term credit cards, car loans, home equity line of credit. Mortgage rates are based on how the Fannie Mae 30-year bond is trading. Mortgage rates are directly tied to the Fannie Mae 30-year bond, not what the Fed and what they're doing with the prime rate. Sometimes it has a same response, negative or positive, and sometimes it has the exact opposite response. Now, it does affect what the bond markets are going to do and how they're going to trade, but they don't exactly work all the time the same way, positive or negative. So, on that note, with mortgage interest rates, 30-year fixed mortgage interest rate at national average is 3.99, which is down 5 basis points from 4.04 a week ago. 15-year fixed national rates fell 4 basis points to 3.34 from 3.38 a week ago. Now, there's a lot of factors we needed to disclose that we are not quoting interest rates on this show. Absolutely not. There's a lot of different factors that affect interest rates. But just so that you know, I want to break these down for you. Credit score, obviously, everybody knows the better credit score you have, the better interest rate you're going to get. The highest credit bracket is 740. So you want to aim for that. And if you don't have it, call the show because we can definitely help you assist in increasing your credit score or directing you to a consultant that can. Down payment is going to have a difference effect in interest rate. Loan amount, whether you're going to be jumbo or conforming or high balance. We actually are really lucky at Gateway. Our high balance are the same as conforming, but a lot of companies have a pretty big ad for high balance. So just a little shout out there for Gateway and how they their price on the secondary. Property type as well, single family best interest rate. Condos, the rates are a little bit higher. It makes sense because the banks do not have the same control over a condo and what's going to happen with the homeowners association. So there's a homeowners association. So there's a little bit of risk there. Multifamily is the highest interest rate. Makes sense, right? Because there's going to be properties that are going to be rented out. Again, there's not the same amount of control in the multifamily units. Loan type is going to affect. You have conventional, FHA, VA, USDA. You have a fixed versus an adjustable rate mortgage. And then loan term. The shorter the loan term, the better the interest rate. Now, there's also multiple interest rate cost structures. So I encourage, if you're talking with a mortgage consultant that gives you one interest rate, you need to really pick up the phone and give us a call because you should be educated that there's multiple rates to choose from. Any given day, we're talking about 5 different interest rate structures. You can pay points and get a great rate, and you can pay no closing cost and take a higher rate. It just really depends on how long you plan on keeping that loan. So it's all about the numbers and making sure that you know what your options are. Also, call to action for being able to lock and shop. If you're working with a lender that does not have the ability to lock your interest rate now so you can protect it in case the rates for mortgages do not go down, give you some time to shop for a property, then give us a call because we definitely have a great lock and shop program. Now, as I've started out with the money chat about the interest rates and how the mortgage rates have dropped, every 0.25% is equal to about $10,000 in buying power. So sometimes it's a little bit of fun to be able to look at it based on buying power, based on the payment, because that's really it's all about. You have a payment objective where you want to keep your payment on a monthly basis. How much can I buy with that payment? Well, a 0.25% lower in interest rate, you now can buy $10,000 more in property. Wouldn't give justice to the money out chat without saying talk with your mortgage consultant or call the show for refinance because there's great opportunities now with the drop in rate. Whether you switch to a shorter term to pay off the loan quicker, whether you actually cash out and leverage some of that, maybe you want to get into a new 30-year fix so that you can have a lower payment and invest. We've got a financial planner that's going to talk about investment today, or pull cash to where you can leverage that money in investments or buying more real estate. Cash out for home improvement so you can increase the value of your property and love where you're living a little bit more, or cash out to pay off debt. So there are a lot of options to take advantage with the lower interest rates. Call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Keelan and I can help adjust you to let you know exactly what makes most sense for you. And that's our money chat today. Coming up next on the Money Hour, who's helping you captain your financial ship and protect your money from long-term care, cost, and taxes. Suzan Shayler of Edward Jones, right here at 1150 a.m. KKNW, after the short break.
Are you on track to achieve all of your financial goals?
Are you trying to balance saving for your retirement and for college, not to mention
Life and disability insurance or long-term care costs?
And what about retirement without worrying about running out of money?
You need someone you can trust to help you create a plan for all of these things.
Suzan with a Z, Shayler at Edward Jones in Shoreline helps families just like yours create a plan to achieve all their goals.
Suzan Shayler at Edward Jones has degrees in both finance and accounting from Seattle University and specializes in tax-free planning.
She can help you determine if you have enough insurance coverage to protect the people you love the most and protect the money you've worked so hard to save from long-term care costs and taxes.
Edward Jones has been in business for almost 100 years and is an independent partnership that has been rated as the top in client satisfaction many times.
You can trust Suzan Shayler and Edward Jones to partner with you for your lifetime.
Hi, this is Suzan with a Z, Shayler, financial advisor with Edward Jones. My office is located in Shoreline, right next to the YMCA at 192nd and Aurora. You can reach me by calling 206-542-2599 or emailing me at suzan.shayler@edwardjones.com for a no-cost, no-obligation evaluation to help you see if you're on track to achieve your financial goals and dreams. Again, that's 206-542-2599, or please connect to Suzan Shayler at Edward Jones via LinkedIn. I look forward to hearing from you.
Doesn't it feel great when you're able to help someone in need? The joy of service to others is often taken for granted, but the reward of kindness is felt as much by the giver as it is the receiver. Sometimes it's difficult to know how and where to reach out to those in need. Mama's Hands has provided a way for you to not only lift the fallen, but to help them stand on their own, believe in themselves, and become strong enough to do the same for others. We need your help. We can change the world together, one soul at a time.
This is Denny Hancock with Mama's Hands. For more information, please check us out at mamashands.org. That's MAMMASHANDS.org. Thank you.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to the Money Hour at 1150 a.m. KKNW, the Saturday, June 22nd show. I am your host. Who am I? My name is Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
We are your local mortgage experts. It's a great day to talk about money, and that's what the show is all about, how to make money, save money, so you can have a better quality of life for you and your family. And if you're hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but you can call the show at 1-855-400-1150 or go online to themoneyhour.com to talk with any of the guests that we have on the show today. Keelan, did your phone just beep?
I think so.
Yeah.
The co-host. I'm trying to take your job. The co-host.
Well, you did have my job last week.
I did, but
Yeah.
I have a whole new appreciation for you now because there's a lot that
There
you
is
do.
a lot.
Yeah.
So on that note, in studio right now, we have Suzan Shayler of Edward Jones, who's helping you captain your financial ship and protect your money from long-term care, cost, and taxes. I love your topic introduction there, and I'm just very excited, Suzan. Thank you so much for joining us in studio today.
Thanks, Tina. Well, really appreciate being here with my friends Vivian and Rose.
Yes, it's going to be a really great show. And a little bit about Suzan. Suzan is a financial advisor with Edward Jones, and she wants to understand what's important to you. She uses an established process to build custom strategies to help you achieve your goals, then partner together throughout your life to help you keep on track. After earning degrees in accounting and finance from Seattle University, Suzan worked with 20 years as an accountant and tax professional before joining Edward Jones in 2013. Her background allows her to specialize in tax-free and tax-efficient planning, potentially saving you money in taxes. You deserve to work with someone who you can trust and help you eliminate the money worries that may keep you up at night. Suzan offers complimentary evaluation to help you see if you are on track to achieve your goals and dreams.
Suzan, this has a special place in my heart. I came from this world as a financial advisor myself. So very important work that you do, and good on you, because really our generation especially, and those before us, really need it. So good on you for that. Tell our listeners a little bit more. What is a financial advisor, and what do you help your clients do? What is the whole financial advisory path?
Thanks for asking. I use an analogy with clients of us partnering together to captain their financial ship. Waters are sometimes smooth, but occasionally a hurricane comes by, and you need to have a plan for that. The first step when working with prospective clients or clients is getting an understanding of what and who are most important to them. As you mentioned, I use an established process to create and protect a plan to help folks achieve their goals. The final step is reassuring to clients to know that we will partner together for their lifetime to make sure they stay on track.
Wow, that's a really good explanation of what you do. And I really love the captain your financial ship and protect your money from long-term care and costs and taxes, because, yeah, there can be hurricanes out there. But when you have a great advisor that knows their job well and is really looking out for all those options for you, it's kind of hard to go wrong. So you mentioned creating a plan to achieve your client's goal. I'm assuming that it's going to be quite different for every one of your clients. Is that correct?
That is, Tina. Yep. As I mentioned, although I use the same established process with all my clients, that makes sure I don't miss anything. But after that, each individual or family's goals are very different. So each plan is customized to achieve those personal financial goals. And then again, we just keep in touch over the years to make sure we're on track.
Yeah, and same thing in the mortgage business. I mean, Keela and I go through the same process every time that we have a consultation with clients, and the same process behind the scenes is the same to make sure the process goes smoothly, but it's tailored and very unique and specific per individual. So love that.
It's always interesting too, because you never get two that are exactly the same. Like everybody's got their own specific. It's like a story problem,
problem.
And everybody's what's important to one person is never important to the next, and so it's very important that you get a custom plan set up. Suzan, what are you seeing as far as top concerns from your clients these days?
Really big question for a lot of people that are approaching their retirement years is, are they going to run out of money? Fortunately, at Edward Jones, I've got forecasting tools to really help people see what the financial future might look like all the way to age 95. Because in my world, everybody lives to their 95. I do not want them to run out of money. The other big question for folks with children is, can they save for both retirement and college? So I use the analogy like on a plane, to put on your own oxygen mask before you put on that of your children. So focus on making sure your own retirement picture is in really good shape before you work on maybe stuff for your kids. The other big concern, especially for prospective clients, is they're really nervous when they come in. And occasionally I'll hear directly that they're embarrassed about their financial situation. It's such a common concern. I actually start all my meetings by letting folks know that my office is judgment-free zone. And although we can't change the past, we can make a positive difference going forward. And just knowing that makes people feel so much better.
Yeah, and it's so important, because it's kind of like when you're hiring a coach or a counselor, similar with mortgage as well, because we're getting into finances and personal situations, and there's very few people that can actually nail that space in creating that okay space for them to open up and not to have that embarrassment if something's not perfect. So I love how you do that, Suzanne. You also mentioned about the systems you have to really forecast what's going to happen in the future, and technology is really huge. And so other than that, on top of just having the top of the line technology, what sets Edward Jones aside from different financial companies?
Great question. When I decided to move from taxes and accounting, I actually did a lot of research of companies, large and small, who provide competent financial planning advice because I knew I needed it for myself. My dental hygienist, Becky, said words that changed my life forever. She said, "I have an Edward Jones lady, and you should talk to her." I love the fact that Edward Jones is really unique in the financial industry. We're a private partnership. This is not a franchise, and we're all employees and eventually employee partners. I'm proud to tell clients and prospective clients that Edward Jones has, again, been ranked #1 in client satisfaction. Additionally, we are highly rated for employee satisfaction and training. So we've got happy clients, happy, well-trained employees, and all of that makes a really good match.
Love that.
That is fantastic, Susan. And clients a lot of times miss the bus on the taxes part of that, and you came from a tax world. So tell some of our listeners, how did you transition now into helping customers with taxes in the financial advisory world?
Well, obviously, I didn't lose all that knowledge of 20 years of background
Right?
in taxes.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing that to the table. And basically, that knowledge base allows me to specialize in tax-free planning. So there's investments that are tax-free. There are accounts that are tax-free or tax-deferred. And there's also insurance options that I think many people forget that not only offer protection with the insurance, but can help create tax-free income in retirement. Everyone can use help with one or several of these strategies to save money on taxes, legally, of course.
Of course. And how do you help your clients protect their savings from potential long-term care costs in the future? So if one of your clients needs long-term care, either at home or in a facility, how are you helping them and helping their family with that option?
That's really important to remember. Also, that long-term care isn't just a senior issue, that folks have accidents, illnesses, and all sorts of things that require long-term care. And essentially, people have 3 basic choices to pay for long-term care expenses. They can save a lot and use their personal savings. Keep in mind, though, that costs range in Seattle from $8,000 to $15,000 a month. That'd be memory care.
Crazy.
I know. Some folks do have traditional long-term care insurance. The problem with that is premiums can go up over time, and if you never have a need for that insurance, all the money that you paid to that insurance company is gone. A great third option is a hybrid of life and long-term care insurance. At some point, you may need long-term care services, but we know for certain, unfortunately, that at some point you will pass away. The hybrid insurance will pay a tax-free long-term care benefit, or it will give your family a bucket of tax-free money when you pass away. My clients love knowing the money they pay an insurance company will eventually return to them, all tax-free.
I love that. That's, whole life, if you create it, if you follow the rules, a little disclosure there, it can grow tax-free, you can withdraw it tax-free, really cool little vehicle. Long-term care, one of those things, I actually just quadruply confirmed with my parents about long-term care, because that is so scary. That could be such a huge amount of money. It could deplete everything that you have. So, if you haven't checked off that box, call Susan, call our experts, call the show, and go get yourself, and especially check your parents out, because that's on you, kids. So make sure you do. But anyways, let's talk about high net worth clients. Do you work with high net worth clients in that type of category, or?
Absolutely, yes. I consider clients high net worth. I often get that question, what does that mean? If we can see they have saved more than they will ever spend in retirement, I would consider them high net worth. These clients have much more complex needs, and my background in taxes really helps out here. I also have the resources of a special team at Edward Jones with attorneys, CPAs, and estate planners we can partner with for clients over $2 million in accounts with me. That's another benefit, I think, of working at Edward Jones, a huge company. We have over 40,000 employees and many teams of specialists to assist our clients.
Yeah. So, Susan, how do you know if you have enough life and disability insurance?
Really common question again, Tina. As a mom and a daughter, I strongly believe you have to consider protecting the people that depend on you most. We have tools to show our clients how much life, disability, and long-term care insurance they need to protect their savings and their family from something bad happening.
Is there anything that you do differently with seniors when you're working with a senior client?
Well, I love working with seniors, and it goes back to my favorite person on this earth, my grandma Queenie. She was a huge positive influence in my life. And I find that incorporating family members, kids, grandkids, also CPAs, attorneys, real estate agents like Vivian, care specialists like Rose, really gives seniors a lot more confidence making decisions.
So, Susan, as we're wrapping up our time, we've got less than a minute here in the show. How do people get started working with you?
Everyone, I believe strongly, is entitled to advice from a competent financial planning person. As a service to my community, I offer a no-cost and no-obligation evaluation to help people see where they stand and give them some specific advice, especially to save money on taxes. If it seems like a good fit for both of us, we can move forward.
Susan, thank you so much for coming in. It was really a pleasure to interview you and have the wealth of information that you could share with our listeners.
Thank you both so much.
Coming up next in the Money Hour, transitioning seniors, Vivian Peterson of Windermere Real Estate Shoreline, right here on 1150 AM KKNW, after the short break.
Are you on track to achieve all of your financial goals?
Are you trying to balance saving for your retirement and for college, not to mention
Life and disability insurance or long-term care costs?
And what about retirement without worrying about running out of money?
You need someone you can trust to help you create a plan for all of these things.
Suzan, with a Z, Shayler at Edward Jones in Shoreline helps families just like yours create a plan to achieve all their goals.
Suzan Shayler at Edward Jones has degrees in both finance and accounting from Seattle University and specializes in tax-free planning.
She can help you determine if you have enough insurance coverage to protect the people you love the most and protect the money you've worked so hard to save from long-term care costs and taxes.
Edward Jones has been in business for almost 100 years and is an independent partnership that has been rated as the top in client satisfaction many times.
You can trust Suzan Shayler and Edward Jones to partner with you for your lifetime.
Hi, this is Suzan, with a Z, Shayler, financial advisor with Edward Jones. My office is located in Shoreline, right next to the YMCA at 192nd and Aurora. You can reach me by calling 206-542-2599 or emailing me at suzan.shayler@edwardjones.com for a no-cost, no-obligation evaluation to help you see if you're on track to achieve your financial goals and dreams. Again, that's 206-542-2599, or please connect to Suzan Shayler at Edward Jones via LinkedIn. I look forward to hearing from you.
You may have noticed our community is experiencing a homeless crisis like never before. But what you might not know is that homeless families, especially mothers with children, are on the rise. They're one of the fastest growing groups right now. They are unsafe on the streets, and although they may not be visible, they are out there and they need our help. Mama's Hands is changing lives in our community through the House of Hope. It's a shelter for women and children in need. House of Hope provides not only support services, but a home-like environment for these families. After they graduate from the program, House of Hope staff continue to keep the families engaged and supported through a whole year-long aftercare program.
I'm Kimberly Jackson, Director at Mama's Hands. We would love to have you get more involved in helping homeless families and individuals in crisis in our community. Please visit our website at mamashands.org. That's MAMMASHANDS.org, mamashands.org. Thank you.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to the Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, June 22nd show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
Your local mortgage experts. We are here to help you build a strong financial blueprint 1 week and one show at a time. If you're listening to our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast. To connect with the guests that we have on the show, please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. In studio, next we have Vivian Peterson of Windermere Real Estate Shoreline, and we're going to be talking about transitioning seniors. Vivian, welcome back into studio. It's been a little while since we've chatted with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And a little bit about Vivian. As a lifelong resident of the Pacific Northwest, Vivian has watched Seattle flourish into what it is today. Her intimate knowledge of this beautiful area and market means that she can help you find just the right home for you. Vivian is a full-service real estate broker with an eye for interior design and knowledge for Feng Shui principles. That means when she stages homes, she lists to sell quickly and create more value for you.
Vivian, how cool for you to focus on seniors as a realtor. What kind of services do you provide for our seniors? Because I know that's a specific niche and it takes a lot of care, and you got to be pretty careful with all the details. There's a lot associated with moving a senior. So can you talk a little bit and expand on that for us?
Sure. Well, as a full-service real estate broker, I have a team of specialists, such as Suzan over here with financial advice. And I also call upon Rose with concierge care to place seniors in homes. And I also have organizers on my team, movers, handymen, stagers, and just a bunch of help to help move the seniors more comfortably into the next phase of their lives.
And I think that's really important because as a real estate agent, your clients are coming to you most of the time first in this process. And so having your team behind you, I like to call them your power partners, people that you have vested and made sure that they're going to be able to provide the highest level of service, just as you do to your clients. It makes it really easy, and especially when you get into senior transition, because they're in a different stage in their life and it's not an easy one all the time. So being able to just handle that. And also, again, the show today really is not just for seniors, but there are children and grandchildren that are helping in this transition process. And the last thing that they need is to have to worry about all of these team of people it's going to take for this one transition. So I love that, Vivian. What about contractors that can help get their home updated for sell, to sell? Talk about that.
Well, we can help. That's a big service that we provide with Windermere Shoreline. Our owners are happy to provide this service. That we have contractors, and once they move out, we can fix certain parts and paint and update the carpets and sell the home.
Yeah, so again, with Windermere had, I said vested before. I meant to say vetted. They vetted their people. So same thing with contractors. Again, you want to make sure that they're vetted and know that they're going to do excellent quality of work.
Yeah, a lot of details. You got to make sure the property looks great, right, Vivian? What about any special advanced training as far as working with seniors?
Well, I have earned my senior real estate specialist designation. And that involved additional training and specific to seniors. So I use that a lot to help seniors in my business.
Yeah, so if you're a senior or helping assist a senior in selling, it's important that you work with an agent that has that designation, because there is an additional hours and classes, and there are special needs and special things that are happening in the senior transition world. You want to make sure that your agent is up to date and how to make that process as seamless as possible. Correct, Vivian?
Exactly.
Yeah, so important. So, Vivian, what have you learned that is most important that seniors need when you're helping them?
I've helped many, many seniors, and I've learned to listen, having patience and understanding. They don't like a lot of change, and it can be a very difficult transition for them. So I guess they end up loving me, though.
So, yeah.
That's a good way to put it. You are kind of a lovable person, Vivian.
Yeah, at the end, I win them over, and it's a home run every time.
Yeah.
So why seniors? I mean, what kind of brought you to that specific niche, and why do you enjoy helping seniors specifically so much, Vivian?
Oh, I enjoy working with them because of their life experience. Most of all, I love to hear their stories and meeting their family members. We end up creating a bond.
I love old people. You know that? If I could just sit there and find an old person to talk to, the history that they have and the knowledge, pick their brain, anything that you can get. I just love them. They're amazing.
Maybe older person.
Yeah. Well, just
old person.
I guess, was that bad? Old people?
No. And older, more wisdom.
Yeah.
And, just don't watch how you talk to me, Keelan, because I know I'm a lot older than you are.
I don't think you're old
You can be
people.
sensitive to age here.
You don't have enough wrinkles, Tina.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, Vivian, I love that you found your passion in the clients that you work with. And I know you work with other clients outside of the senior community, but I think it's important when you are working with seniors that you really have that passion behind, because you talked about, we asked about how do you make this process easier for them. And you really have to take extra time to walk them through the process. You were talking about it's fearful for them because of the change. It's harder as we get older. It gets more difficult to change. And everything is changing for them. So, yeah, really important to have agents around like you that have the passion behind helping seniors. So a little shout out and thank you for that, Vivian. So, Vivian, how long does it take to transition a senior?
Well, every situation is unique. And as we know, every senior's needs are different. But it can range anywhere from 24 hours to 6 months, depending on how fast we can move them into care and what kind of care they need, and how fast we can bring their home together for sale.
Vivian, and I'm going to choose my words here.
Be very careful.
If I'm an older person than myself, how can I start working with you? I just had to be careful with what I said. I'm sorry, that's it.
Well, you can just call me anytime. You can text me, email me. I am around, so easy to get a hold of me. I will provide you with strategies that and see if we're a good fit. So I usually include a complimentary market analysis to help determine the value of your home. And we go through a list together, a little to-do list of what we need to accomplish the goal.
So, Vivian, let's talk a little bit about the other types of clients that you serve outside of the senior community.
Well, although I have a passion with working with seniors, I very often work with folks of all ages, from first-time homebuyers to people that are downsizing and even investors.
Wonderful. Well, Vivian, it's always great to have you in studio. Your smile is just so beautiful. I wish our listeners could see it on air, but thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Coming up next on the Money Hour, Senior Living Transitioning, we have Rose Fabric of Concierge Care Advisors right here on 1150 AM KKNW after the short break.
Are you on track to achieve all of your financial goals?
Are you trying to balance saving for your retirement and for college, not to mention
Life and disability insurance or long-term care costs?
And what about retirement without worrying about running out of money?
You need someone you can trust to help you create a plan for all of these things.
Suzan, with a Z, Shayler at Edward Jones in Shoreline helps families just like yours create a plan to achieve all their goals.
Suzan Shayler at Edward Jones has degrees in both finance and accounting from Seattle University and specializes in tax-free planning.
She can help you determine if you have enough insurance coverage to protect the people you love the most and protect the money you've worked so hard to save from long-term care costs and taxes.
Edward Jones has been in business for almost 100 years and is an independent partnership that has been rated as the top in client satisfaction many times.
You can trust Susan Shayler and Edward Jones to partner with you for your lifetime.
Hi, this is Susan with a Z, Shayler, financial advisor with Edward Jones. My office is located in Shoreline, right next to the YMCA at 192nd and Aurora. You can reach me by calling 206-542-2599 or emailing me at suzan.shayler@edwardjones.com for a no-cost, no-obligation evaluation to help you see if you're on track to achieve your financial goals and dreams. Again, that's 206-542-2599, or please connect to Susan Shayler at Edward Jones via LinkedIn. I look forward to hearing from you.
Would you like to make a real difference for local individuals and families that are struggling with poverty, homelessness, abuse, and violence? Assistance League of the East Side is an all-volunteer, nonprofit organization that works to improve the lives of our neighbors every day. With your generosity, we can help individuals and families right here in our community through our philanthropic programs, including Operation School Bell. This year, Operation School Bell has provided 3,500 local children in need the opportunity to shop for new clothes, shoes, and coats. This helps them focus on learning, and they go to school with more confidence. To learn more about how you can become a volunteer with our organization or make a tax-deductible donation, visit aleastside.org.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to the Money Hour at 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, June 22nd show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I am your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
You're local mortgage experts, bringing into studio each week the best of the best experts in all of your marketing and needs for helping you in today's economy. If you're hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we're here to answer any questions or connect you with the guests that we have on the show. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150, or online at themoneyhour.com. And in studio right now, we have Rose Fabric of Concierge Care Advisors, Senior Living Transitioning. Rose, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
You're
Pleasure
very
to be
welcome.
here.
And a little bit about Rose. Rose is a certified senior concierge care advisor for Concierge Care Advisors, a healthcare organization focused on senior care transition. Rose has worked in the healthcare field for over 20 years. She works with seniors and family members to navigate the process of making the right transition decisions for senior housing and care services. She has worked as a community relationship director in an assisted living community to clinical liaison for in-home care. She has a thorough understanding of assisted living, memory care, and in-home care services to advise the families on what is appropriate for their elder loved ones. Rose's passion is serving and in the care transition in older adults in many capacities. She quotes, "I am excited to be a concierge care advisor so that I may continue to assist the elderly population," end quote.
Love it, Rose. Can you, coming from you, what services does a concierge care advisor provide exactly?
Well, we help seniors and family navigate and manage the process of making the right transition decision for their elder loved ones. For example, is it in-home care? Is it independent living, assisted living, memory care, or an adult family home? We do not make the choice for the family. We provide the family with good information to make the right decision for the senior's care needs, the financial budget, and the location for the family. We are a locally owned company, not a franchise. We follow all the Washington state regulations for senior care transition.
So, Rose, how does Concierge Care Advisors help to navigate the process of senior living with all of these options that they have?
Well, we provide a thorough intake to understand the senior's care needs and support for activities of daily living, evaluate their financial budget available, evaluate the need for a spend down to Medicaid and the length of time that they can private pay, and the ideal location for the family members who will visit the senior often. We must have all this information in order to help the family decide the right path for transition. We serve the family by organizing the information and managing the process for identifying the proper care facilities to consider, setting up the tours, creating a checklist to prepare for the move. We do encourage that each senior have a durable power of attorney designated to assist them with health care and financial decisions.
Rose, that's awesome. There's so many details associated with seniors and transitioning and things we just don't think of. So what great work that you do. Why do you think it's important for somebody to talk to a senior concierge care advisor as opposed to just taking it on themselves?
It is a daunting task for families to navigate the senior living transition process. The senior is overwhelmed. The adult children are working full-time and have their own family, or the adult children live out of state and have limited time to support their parents. We know the right questions to ask to move the process forward in a timely, organized, step-by-step manner. We manage the process with the family. Having a plan put together for the family eliminates the anxiety associated with transition and gives them a peace of mind that their loved one will be safe and thriving.
Yeah, so important. Rose, who pays you for your services? Is that something that the senior or the senior's family is paying that compensation?
We do not charge the senior and family for our services. Once the family makes a decision, the community or adult family home pays concierge care advisors a referral fee. Our contract is the same with every community and every adult family home, and we do not accept referral fees until the senior has moved in. We provide the family our disclosure of service.
Yeah, so why would a senior not use someone like yourself? And I would imagine it would be because they just don't know that your services are available or that your services, they're not paying for that, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So how do you, I imagine this comes up quite a bit, how do you help a senior when they don't have the finances to move until their home is sold?
Well, that is a great example of when I need the expertise of a real estate professional like Vivian, who can work with her company to offer my senior client a cash advance to move before the house is sold. The cash advance is paid back at the time Vivian sells their home. Transitioning the senior out of the home enables Vivian to get the house ready to sell in a timely manner. And for the senior, I'm able to move them to an appropriate senior living situation much more timely, allowing them to get the support they need for activities of daily living and to start thriving again. Another option would be the service of a financial advisor like Suzan, who can loan my senior client cash based on the value of their investments. And then again, that allows them to be able to transition sooner than later.
Yeah, and another reason, if you're hearing kind of a theme here on the show, the importance to have a team, an established team that work together day in and day out with the same passion behind helping their clientele. We're talking in today's show about helping seniors, and so that's why we really wanted to bring in not a panel conversation, but a panel of experts that work together to help our senior community. So I love that. Rose, how do you pre-screen a community or an adult family home before you recommend them for a senior? Because there's a lot of different needs that are going to be there, a lot of different cost or flexibility or not as far as what they can pay for that service as well.
Well, we do a check on DSHS for their annual inspections to make sure that they have no outstanding deficiencies. We also check their disclosure of service to ensure that they can provide the tools and the staff to cover the senior's care needs. I pre-tour the care facility so that I can meet the provider, meet the caregivers, and even meet the residents in that community to make sure that it's a fit for my senior client. Also, the location of the care facility is important because it needs to be near the family members' residence so that they can visit as often as they can.
Wow, the amount of detail you go into for your customers. I don't know why they would not get somebody like yourself to take this
That's
stuff
why we do the
on.
Money Hour, to make sure people understand what options are out there and benefits of utilizing those expertise.
For sure. Such an important thing. So let's talk a little bit about Medicaid. Do you help seniors with Medicaid?
We do serve seniors who can private pay for senior living. With a senior on Medicaid, we do not accept a referral fee. Therefore, we have to consider Medicaid clients on a case-by-case basis. It will depend on their caseload that we have. The age of the client must be 65 and older, and the daily rate provided by DSHS. The help we provide will be limited. However, we are a valuable resource for the family. Medicaid is pro bono work for us, but we consider it a way of giving back to the community.
Yeah, so it's important to give back to the community, but you can only do so much of that because you have to be able to survive financially as a company. So that makes sense. So Rose, do you advocate for the senior and go with them during the tours of all the different community options that are going to fit their needs?
Absolutely. We always advocate for each of our senior clients. We find the senior living options, arrange the tours, and are with the family during the tours so that we can ask questions, make sure that the family gets their answers and they get to know the providers and the staff in that home. We make sure that the senior has all the home health services they need to make that transition successful.
That's so important. You probably wouldn't even know the questions to ask or what to look for if you've never done it. And with your experience and going in there, you can hone in on exactly what that facility looks like and the things that the family should be concerned about. And we love our parents. You want them to be somewhere amazing,
Yes,
so
we
that's
do.
so
Absolutely.
So
My mom wants to live with me, but we're having a conversation about that. I mean, she's got years to go. She's healthy and fine. I think she's going to live forever, but she's already starting to tell me how she wants to move in with Dave and I.
Mom, meet Rose. She's going to help you.
Exactly. She's going to help place you.
She's going to place you somewhere else but my house. No. So what about once the senior moved into the community? Do you have a follow-up program? What happens after that point?
We sure do have a follow-up program. Each senior client we serve remains our client until end of life. We follow our clients after they moved in and to make sure that they are transitioning well, receiving the care they need, and are thriving. We also check in with the family member and continue to be a healthcare resource for them.
That's awesome.
Rose, what professional referrals can you provide to a senior as part of the transition process?
In my work with Seniors for Transition, there are so many facets involved in transition that requires specific expertise. I rely on trusted partners I can count on dedicated to serve the needs of vulnerable seniors. Our partners are all vetted. The list includes real estate professionals like Vivian, financial planning advisors like Suzan. We also have a list of in-home care providers, elder law attorneys, downsizing estate sales specialists, professional movers, also medical services, home health, PT, or physical therapy, occupational therapy, hospice service, medical equipment, and several other community services.
Yeah, so you have everything covered, and that's a lot to have covered to make sure that they're working with the best of the best, correct?
It's a team effort. It
It's
really
definitely
is.
a team effort, just like anything that we do. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Rose. Really, it was a great opportunity to be able to chat with you. And as we wrap up this special show, which is all around seniors, and having 3 experts here that actually work together as a team, helping you as a senior and helping your family, I just wanted to bring us all back on mic together and just thank you again. And anything that you would like to wrap up with Suzan as we wrap up our show today, at a call to action when it comes to financial planning for our seniors out there or preparing to get into that next stage in life.
Thanks, Tina. It's been a really great pleasure being here. I was a little nervous to start out with, I'll admit, but you're so welcoming, you too, Keelan. So thank you very much. Yes, the call to action would be to reach out to me. Again, I offer that complimentary review. I can give you some great advice, be it the sandwich generation, maybe child helping an older parent, or even a grandchild. Other professionals that I work with, estate planning attorneys, CPAs, those kind of things, those people also are a great resource for my clients, but also I'm a great resource for their clients.
Yeah, perfect, Susan. Thank you so much. Rose, how about for you, a call to action for our listeners today?
As you heard, we can help the families a great deal on many, many levels, and the service is free. So all they need to do when they need help is not to be afraid to reach out and just give us a call. Our number is 855-444-7364.
That's fantastic. And we can't leave out Vivian. A call to action, Vivian, for our listeners.
Well, you can go to my website, vivianpeterson.com, and send me a message if you would like a complimentary market analysis for the value of your home. And I'd be happy to come meet with you and go from there.
Wonderful. And always as a resource to get a hold of any of our guests today, you can go to the show at 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And it was a great show talking all about seniors and how to protect them. So this is your host, Tina Mitchell, signing off for the day.
And your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
And we're going to be here next week, same time, same place. But until next weekend, enjoy the rest of this weekend and make it a great one.
Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, and Keelan Harvey, MLO 1330075, are licensed loan originators with Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, and MLS 7233. The views expressed by the speakers on the preceding program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC.